Hi everyone and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today I've made it out to Walton-on-the-Naze for what's hoping to be a really good sunrise. There's real clear conditions today and there's some real lovely detail and colour in the sky at the moment already. So it's already, even before sunrise, working out to be a fantastic shoot. So I made it down here really early start, up at 3:30 in the morning, driving down here for 5 o'clock. And hopefully will work out to be a really enjoyable shoot. Other benefit of today as well, I'm not here on my own. I've met up with another fellow subscriber, Bill, who's come down and to join me today for this epic sunrise, hopefully. So yeah, working out to be an interesting shoot so far. So let's have a see what I come up with. Making it down onto the beach here, working out really quite interesting because the tide's retreating for sunrise, which is really interesting. When I was here about 6 or so months plus now ago, the tide was really in for sunrise, and actually there was a lot of cloud that day, which yeah, I'm trying to forget that one. But today is today, and as the tide is retreating, it's opening up this really interesting foreground in front of us, and hopefully with the lovely colours that it's going to create in the sky today, working out to be really interesting. Now also along this coastline here, there's a couple of the defences that were used in the Second World War, the Pillbox, which is one here over my shoulder as you can just see, one a little bit further along which is slightly larger, that was up on the cliff top here, but unfortunately due to coastal erosion it's obviously falling into the sea, and a good sort of 100 or so, 200 metres as such from the actual line of the cliff tops which are behind you. But anyway, making it down onto this shoreline here, hopefully come up with a composition or two. So sunrise is working out really lovely now, and the patterns and details in this foreground is working out incredible, really enjoyable. So composition wise, I've got one of these channels that's leading off to a bank of cloud on the left hand side of the composition. On the right hand side rule of thirds, I've got the sun just coming up over the horizon. Absolutely amazing and well worth the effort getting out of bed for. So just taking multiple exposures, because as the light is rising, it's hitting different parts of this foreground, and where it's really uneven, it's reflecting that light. Fantastic. It's also going to create some lovely light, I feel, on the cliff tops behind you. So even maybe a sort of a composite image of that might work out really quite interesting. But settings for the camera, f11, ISO 100, playing with the shutter speed. At the moment, 1/6 of a second, 1/5 of a second earlier, about half a second before sunrise as well when I've taken a couple of other compositions. But really enjoyable, this one. Some of the light hidden here. Yeah, I think this is going to work out fantastic. And this sort of muddy, bouldery foreground is yeah, fantastic, really enjoyable. Now the sun's fully up, just slowly adjusting the shutter speed. So I'm obviously making sure and looking at the histogram as well. And Bill's really kindly lent me a filter set to try out today. So yeah, working out to be really interesting with that one. First time I've used a proper filter system, and it has been a consideration of mine to purchase one, but other things have come along at the same time, wanting to upgrade camera gear in other aspects. So the actual camera bodies themselves have been more of a priority in the past, but maybe now it's a consideration to really think about that one. So I've got a soft Grad on the front there, so working out really quite interesting. I'll post all the details in the description below. But yeah, this morning is already started. Amazing. It can only go skyrocket from here, can't it? But that may be fatal last words. So as the sun's risen that little bit further now, and working out to be a really interesting shoot. So Bill's obviously joined us today. So how you found it, mate?
Yeah, it's been a good day.
Yeah, enjoyed it?
It has, yeah.
No, well worth getting up.
Yeah, definitely. Seen you making your videos, very professional.
Very professional, yeah, I have to pay him for saying that.
Like, and me for getting the milk so we can't make no tea. So.
Oh, no worries. No, this is yeah, a really good location because you live not far from here, do you?
I'm just outside Clacton, about 10 miles down the coast.
So this is your playground, yeah. So Bill's got a YouTube channel as well, so I'll link that in the description below. So check that out and make sure you give him a sub if you're local as well. And does a bit of a mix of photography and some water sports as well. So yeah, check him out, and really good photographer. Make sure you check out his obviously feed on Facebook as well.
And also with Rob, if you like his channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification to see his next video.
That's it.
Great content.
Going. Right, that's another thing I've got to pay you for.
Yeah. You're going to sort me out the tenner later.
That's it. Down a bit further along the shoreline now to one of these structures that's from the Second World War of the Pillbox here. Really interesting, as obviously it gets completely covered by the tide as it comes in. There's lots of seaweed and bladderwrack all over it, which is working out really quite interesting composition. Also added into it is this really lovely foreground. I've said once or twice, haven't I, about the foreground this morning? And anyway, but with the line that it's creating, this leading up to the left hand side of the actual pillbox, working out really quite interesting. Now, keeping the composition wise, the pillbox on the right hand side rule of thirds, and the line and the foreground making up about 2/3 of the actual composition, because there's not much detail in the sky, but that doesn't really matter when you've got a fantastic foreground like this, and that's what you need to really work on and capitalize. If there was interest in the sky, i.e. more cloud and color within it, then yes, you would balance the image out that little bit more, but with this one it's working out really quite interesting, I feel. Also with the contrast of the actual side light that the subject of the pillbox is actually getting, is working out really quite interesting. Camera settings, f11, ISO 100, 1/30 of a second, and working out really quite nice. And I've got the Soft Grad on the front as well, so working out really interesting using this filter system at the same time. So making it down right onto another aspect of this pillbox, really quite interesting. So as you can see, I've got the camera set up really low and having to do a focus stacked image because as you can see it's only about 40 centimeters or so that I've got this first focal point close to the lens. So for this image I'm setting the camera and focusing here, focusing about mid-ground and then focusing on the actual pillbox as well, and taking the image. Let me just double check the base settings for that one. F11, ISO 100 and 1/80th of a second is the base image, bracketing 2 stops either side because of the dynamic range, and working out really quite interesting, keeping the camera in portrait orientation because I'm really liking the layers within this actual composition, and hopefully having the focus stacked image, having that sort of front to back sharpness, because I really wanted to get the back far ground in focus of the Naze Tower here, working out really quite interesting. The lovely light and detail that I've said about this composition and this morning that we've actually got is working out really interesting, and what a day to be out with your camera. It's sometimes uninspiring skies that can be a tricky thing, but when you've got conditions like this, when you've got really interesting foreground and subject matter that's in abundance, what more do you really want? Absolutely enjoyable today, really is good. And having a good chat with Bill as well, yeah, just sharing that joy of photography, talking about images, talking about compositions, talking about trips and images that we've taken in the past as well, just sharing that real passion for photography. Absolutely amazing morning, and it just really adds to it, isn't it? I mean, that's the thing that we've kind of missed, haven't we, over the past year, because of obvious reasons, because of the pandemic and stuff, but actually sharing the joy of photography with others when you're actually out on location and experiencing the same facts and the same conditions that you're out and about in. Absolutely unbelievable, really, really good. So yeah, one of the best mornings I've had out, I think, with my camera. So that's us done here at Walton-on-Naze. What a really interesting morning shoot, and really loving the detail in the foreground of this location, and really pays that actually the tide times it's working out was really interesting for today. So how have you found it, Bill?
Yeah, it's a good day. Yeah? Very good, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
a
works.
few nice images, which I'll forward over to you later.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm going to post up some of the images that Bill's going to send over to us. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I'll put a link to his YouTube channel in the description below, so please go over there and check it out as well.
It's in its infancy at the moment, but I'll be putting content out in the near future.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah.
But everyone's got to start somewhere. But yeah, no, it's just enjoyable being out with another photographer. And someone that's obviously starting out doing the vlogging as well. It's a bit of fun, like myself at the same time. But yeah, hopefully meet up again and
both
do some more.
Each other,
yeah. So no, it's been a really enjoyable morning.
Yeah, definitely. Cheers, Rob. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, cheers, mate.